Candus's behavior and this and that over online. And they were trying to reach Candus. And when you can't reach Candus or she's ignoring or whatever, it's a given. We'll call DeeDee. Call DeeDee. And there's been numerous people blowing up and calling someone who's not even alive anymore, calling their phone. And then when these people, my wife included, would call, finally get a hold of Candus, Candus would never clear it up. She never specified that it's useless texting her phone because she's no longer here. And the lies and the hiding went so long that it came to a point where we then learned about DeeDee's death. Candus is being weird. And we're waiting for her to tell us. So now you're at a part where it's like, let's see how long this person will lie to us for. And that's when it gets really ugly, because it was a long time. When I say a week or whatever, that's a long time for that type of situation. And, it's ugly. And then the communication for that whole week and before the week is extremely ugly. Everything this person is saying to you is a lie. We're talking about life and death. Straight face. No change in tone. That is scary, because throughout that whole time, there's only one thing I can think about, as you probably do too. This sounds a lot like questions about summer when asked. And it's all very strange. It's all very strange. A lot of you don't know that when DeeDee died, not only was there no life-saving techniques done, but 911 wasn't the first person called. Fred wasn't the first to know. Wouldn't you know? Other people were called before each. That's strange. A lot of y'all don't know that. This is the part I just can't wrap my head around. So DeeDee and Candus were close. And I guess Candus was always planning on leaving Ben Hill. But where could she go, whatever. People go through things, whatever. DeeDee and Candus were planning on this, her leaving. The Fred and Candus thing is super weird. Since last time I went live, the guy refunded the money back. We were buying a motorcycle off my mod. It was an older motorcycle. They only wanted like $500 for it. I think we're halfway there. He sent it back. Must have got wind that I said that a few times. But people, the time frame here is very sus. And the whole thing is just weird. The whole thing is weird. Was it Fred and Candus really planning? Fred doesn't answer Don's calls anymore. It's very strange. And again, I may go live for a second time later with Don, or I'll put it in video format. I just don't know if you guys... Let me take some comments real fast before we get more going here. What's up, Smart Ass Patriot? Let me try to do this really fast. But yeah, she, it is super weird, man. Candus has left Ben Hill so many times. She gets with a friend, and then the friend gets tired of her bullshit. So Kim, the last numerous times, it's always been DeeDee. It's always been DeeDee. It's very strange, people, that this woman, the inconclusive part of the autopsy is very strange. I can't explain it medically. My wife is good at that. Maybe I could have her step in here if she when she comes in the house to explain that part. But it's very weird. What's up, low key Sheila? Chemo takes a toll. I bet it does. Hate chemo. I think Fred married a YouTuber. He it's just all very weird. He didn't want it on the internet, was what we were initially told. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, it's all weird. It's all very weird. It's like they didn't want it talked about. And I will say this before I show you guys some stuff. You know, when I say stuff over here on this channel, Candus listens, and I'm not trying to attack you, Candus. This is all very just sus to me. But you know, I'm not trying to attack you, but you have just completely changed as a person, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. You know, I know that when I talk, Candus listens, because the last time I had Don on, she's calling his phone 6 times during the live. Rap is calling afterwards. She always texts Noelle when I go live, if I happen to have her name in the title. You know, I know what I say has value to her, and I'm not attacking her, but it is sus. It's very sus. You know, I probably know a little bit more than you even think that I know about. But I've known you for so long, and it's very strange. It's disheartening, it's hurtful, and ugly to watch you lie through your teeth. Like it's bad. Lie through your teeth to people who have the truth, but you are trying to dictate it. And it is a weird, really weird feeling to experience. It makes people wonder what else has been lied about. So blatant, so direct, so modest. Yeah. Okay, that's a good way to put it in a short terms. Yes. I don't know if there's been a legal investigation. No, Rap is not Fred. Rap is just a weirdo nobody. A rapist who, I don't know, he thinks he's tough. He's not. I called his parole officer this week, actually. People don't just die. Our bodies do not just stop working one day for no reason. And it'll always show up in an autopsy. Therefore, inconclusive results look suspicious to anyone in medical. They're looking. So yes, yes. And, you know, if there was an investigation, it's just very weird. I didn't know of her. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. DeeDee's health issues prior to this were a gallbladder. All I know about. Looked perfectly healthy when I saw her in person. But DeeDee would always pick up Candus. They were extremely tight. The very thought of her staying there is weird. And when DeeDee was in the hospital for the gallbladder, which was a completely separate time, Candus was arguing with Don once again. And, you know, she wants DeeDee to have Fred go pick her up from Ben Hill, right? So bad, right? Because there's an argument, and DeeDee was a little bit of an enabler. God bless the dead, rest in peace, my moderator and good friend. But this was true. But she didn't just get run over. She would very voice her stuff if she got upset. The point is, when she's in the hospital, okay, for the gallbladder, Candus is blowing up the phone, come get me Ben Hill, come get me Ben Hill. And think about that, people. That Fred is in the hospital with his wife. You want Fred to leave being side by side her bed in the hospital to go to Tennessee to pick up you because you're having a tiffy with Don. The balls, the nerve. What it happened. It's weird. It's very weird. Fred, he's a very timid guy. He don't talk too much. You know what he's like? He's like the guy where, you're having a party or something, a get together, and he's the type of guy who doesn't go watch the football game with the fellas. He's in the kitchen gossiping. He's not gay or nothing like that, but he's over there, right? He might say, "Hey, everybody," walk past us all, ask who's winning for 2 seconds, grab a beer, but he's right back to the gossip. He's right back to the kitchen with the ladies. That's the best way I can describe that guy. The best way. But it's weird, people, because so going to show all these very fast. But I really wanted to show you. I just want to show you kind of like that's Little Summer's toys. 2 of her toys hangs up in Don's truck. I just want to show you some stuff. I was going through my photos here, and I just want to try to give you guys the visual of what's happening here. Right? There's DeeDee right there. How's that? Better or worse? It's worse. Wait, give me a second. Okay, so from left, it's me, Noelle, Candus, Miss Robin, Jenkins. That is the lady who does Summer's Day. That is shit. What is her name? She pays for Summer's Day. I'll think of it in a second if the chat hasn't already got it. I forgot who that is. Next to here's DeeDee. Next to Miss Chewy, and this would be Chill Billy. So Chill Billy, Miss Chewy, third person DeeDee. That is, who is that? Who is that? Oh, man, it's gonna kill me. I know her name. It's okay though. I'll think of it'll come to me. Anyway, so Missing Kids, Summer's Day. DeeDee had a lot to do with this as well, but that was a lot of Miss Robin. I'm looking for. Okay, here you go. So Candus was the type of person where, just to give you guys like a visual, right? This video I'm about to play, I did really fast because Ernie Shell was doing one of his horrific lies, right? And he was claiming that he was talking to Candus on the phone. So I know he's lying. So I'm just like, Noelle, why don't you call Candus to prove that she's not that she's not talking to Ernie, right? Do it on video call. I'll get the time on the phone. And this is destruct one of his massive lies. But, you know, this is how Candus is with us. Just have a minute or so of just interaction.
Talking to on that video call.
I'm talking to my Candus.
Can I see? Can you prove that?
What's up, man?
You have to play volume.
Hey, babe.
What's up?
Can you take the pin card?
Hey, what's up, girl?
When you show pictures
How are you talking to? How are you talking to Noelle?
Yeah,
and,
I'll put that
and
back on.
And texting Ernie Shell. And driving at.
Pause this video.
I need this.
It's 3:15.
Can I get this the corner? You're just. Who are you talking to on that?
Volume here. Hold on. So the pin comments are making you guys not be able to see the. Okay, I will do something about that right now. Let's undo this. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The comments on the screen. The comments on the screen. Okay, so let's do this, and then let's do that. I'll come back over here. This is gonna play volume.
A video call.
I'm talking to my Candus.
Can I see? Can you prove that?
What up, man?
Hey, what's up, girl? How are you talking to? How are you talking to Noelle and texting Ernie Shell?
That's a good question.
And driving at the same time. What time you got, Mama?
We've been talking for over 45 minutes.
Time's your phone say, please? I need this.
It's 3:15.
Can I get this the corner? Your just where your time is, please, real fast. Who are you talking to on that video call?
I'm talking to my Candus.
Can I see? Can you prove that?
What up, man?
Can you prove that? Talking to on that video call.
I'm talking to my Candus.
Can I see? Can you prove that?
How are you talking to Noelle?
Hey, what's up, girl? How are you talking to Noelle and texting Ernie Shell? And driving at the same time. What time you got, Mama?
We've been talking for over 45 minutes.
Time's your phone say, please? I need this.
Kind of see that.
All right.
Alrighty, 3:15. Thank you.
I don't think I have to, you guys, I'm just, Candus is always there picking the phone up. Okay, right here. Let me get back to here real fast for anybody who couldn't see because the comments on the screen. It's just weird people to now see this this behavior, all these lies in the name of, I hate this screen like this, in the name of, I don't know even what to say the name of this is. It's weird though. I don't understand why. There's a lot of questions I have with this DeeDee thing. There's not investigation, I don't think. But when DeeDee supposedly passed, Candus didn't give CPR. It's all very strange, people. It's all very strange. Now, and the lies afterwards, y'all. You know how weird it was to find out that DeeDee had passed, knowing Noelle was texting her phone. And Noelle was even starting to get a little aggravated because she felt that she was getting the cold shoulder. Do you know how evil that is? And then the next time we talk to Candus, you know, she acts like we don't know, but not at this point. We've been known, and I don't think she realizes the lies. You know, it's weird. It just come off like too natural. You know, where the first thing you do when you talk to somebody, right? When you know someone's passed and you know they haven't told you they've passed, you feed into it. You feed into it. What's up with DeeDee? Not answering a text. Oh no, she's doing this and that. No, she's not even alive. She's not even alive. It's weird. And then I can recall saying, "Hey man, this does not look good. DeeDee died. You're there living with Fred. I understand I understand you're fighting with Don and stuff, but you need to go home for his sanity. Let him grieve a little bit." But I guess the narrative is now on YouTube that I'm supposed to say that they're working on it, Candus and Don. Well, and that's just not the truth. That's a narrative that I'm not going to push. And somebody wants that said. People pay attention when I talk over here, seems to be. And I'm not going to push that. And Don is going to come on later, and he's going to give you his side of things. But unfortunately, I don't want to hear a whole bunch of justification and him taking accountability is great. But it doesn't justify this weird sequence of events that just no one has a clear understanding about. And there's a lot of lies. There's a lot of lies. There's no investigation. I don't know. You know, but when DeeDee did pass after not getting her CPR, Fred wasn't even number one to know. Fred was not even the number one first person called. It's a fact. That is a fact. I think everybody in this chat, if you lost a loved one, and I understand DeeDee, Candus, there's no relation there, but I'm telling you they were very close, extremely close. At least I thought. Apparently, wait. So close, if it ain't no fun if the homies can't get none. But if you lost like a best friend, even if you didn't know how to do CPR, I have faith that you would try, as you recall 911. It's just very weird, y'all. How old DeeDee was? Does she know anyone? I don't know. I would say she's if that's wifey, I would say she's what, about 5 years elder than Candus. This is a guess, could be completely wrong. I wouldn't say she was in her 60s yet. I would guess early to mid 50s. Oh, 45 years old. I'm sorry. Thank you, WB Butterfly. Thank you for that. I thought Don does need to smarten up, and I'm so glad that you said that. Because look, man, I'm not going to push this narrative of they're all going to be working on it and stuff like that. Yeah, I saw the comment, and that's what wants to be said. But truth be told, Don, I don't know what I'm saying over here that's getting certain people so mad. But apparently, I'm going too hard on truth. And I know the truth. So I'm just going to say it. And what I won't let happen is, and I'm sure it's going to go in that direction to a point where, Don's going to try to say this is all his fault or something like that. I don't want to speak for him. I don't want to put words in his mouth. He was supposed to be on this here live, but he couldn't be at the time frame. But I am going to ask questions. Just because adults get into an argument doesn't end up in this situation. It's very weird. It's very weird. The conversation is very weird. It's very weird since DeeDee passed, you don't hear anything about DeeDee. But what you do hear is Fred has 2 houses. Fred has X. Fred has X. Fred has X. Me and Fred. DeeDee is an all the way past tense word at this point. This, it's not that like it's beyond disrespectful. It's weird. But that was DeeDee's inheritance or DeeDee's family stuff. And you have you tried to throw that in Don's face. You have. When you say that, you've moved in with Fred and he has 2 houses, how does that have anything to do with fixing it with Don? You've been there for months. DeeDee has been dead for a long time. Technically, that is her husband. Okay? You are living there. Any woman with any sort of morals would say, this is not right. You need time to grieve. And I think I've extended my stay a little bit. I'm not telling you to have to go home. I mean, ladies, am I wrong here? It's very weird, people. A lot of lies, man. Noelle, how long was it until she finally told you?
She passed away on September 3rd, and I found out on September 19th.
What did she tell you when you said, hey, what's going on with DeeDee?
She didn't tell me anything.
No. After she initially admitted that DeeDee was, in fact, dead.
After Fred told me she was gone, I called Candus back, and we talked. But she didn't tell me anything. She told me what happened when she passed away. But is that what you're? I just woke up. You got it better. You got to be more clear with the question. What did she tell me? How?
No, when you were saying I asked you where's when I was asking you where's DeeDee and this, and she was telling you other answers. What were some of the lies?
She didn't tell me anything. She just said, I don't know why she's not talking to you. She said, I hope she'll talk to you again one day. And I said, tell her I love her. She said, okay, I'll tell her that you said you love her.
Yeah, there you go. That's absolutely lies because she's not alive to say those things. What did she not think that Fred told you the entire story?
No.
Did she assume that he didn't?
That's what she said before she knew before I knew. After Fred told me, I called her, and I was just a crying mess. And I was like, oh my God, can I just say you were okay? And we just talked about everything there. She's like, now you understand why I didn't tell you because we didn't want anybody to know yet.
Right. And then I remember that
I
conversation.
gotta answer you.
Go ahead. And then the next,
Hello?
shortly after that,
I'm all right. What's going on, Mama? What?
shut the door.
No. I did
Trying to think. WV Butterfly is in the chat. You still here? Thank you. Someone, Debbie Nielsen, 999. Much respect to always have to say the truth because there's something weird here. I'm trying to give you guys a timeline. Is WV Butterfly still in the chat? What's up, written in the stars? What's up, Rhonda? Diamonds, hello, I see you. Candace told Yanni DeeDee was asleep or out. Candus lied and was laughing the whole time. DeeDee was already gone. I don't know how you know I was about to go there, but you took some words out of my mouth. She's here. Here she is right here. I love your lives, Matt and Noel. Keep it up. Both amazing, truth, and honest. Okay. So for you, WV Butterfly, can I ask you this? What Noel just said, well, with DeeDee dying, was that after or was the hoax that you guys did, was that before or after DeeDee died? So yes, there's massive red flags. I'm trying to show you guys something that you'll all remember. You may not know who West Virginia Butterfly is, but when her answer comes in, it absolutely does act right. And you don't have to apologize. It was probably a planned argument, Candace. Started with Dawn so she could have a yes, that's absolutely a good point. Because she said she's been planning this with DeeDee for such a long time, but I don't think DeeDee knew the extent of how bad she wanted to get away before she said Noel was her other lover. Okay, yes. So, okay, if you all can recall, and this is where I'm coming back to Diamonds. If y'all can recall, Candace's behavior was weird, and she's in these chats. She's a grown person. She can go wherever she wants. Don't get me wrong. But when I say weird people, weird creators, what I mean is, here's one thing I can promise you guys, right? If somebody's accusing me of hurting a child, or even in some cases killing a child, or saying my family did that, and they do this night after night, night after night, night after night, you can bet I'm never going to be caught in their chats being friendly to them. So you see Candace doing these weird people's chats, right? And you have to wonder, well, I know what it is because she's gone with DeeDee. She's drinking, right? In the little room there. But we have DeeDee passes, and you get the hoax and stuff. And then here's what I could remember. I did kind of feel bad because I knew how close they were. Now, I did not know yet anything that I'm talking about now. I just found out that she died. Okay, DeeDee. Now I can be like, okay, it doesn't justify it. It doesn't justify the behavior you're seeing on YouTube. It doesn't justify it or nothing, but I understand. Acting out hurt, right? The problem is, the next time I spoke with her was, after the night after she went on Miss Daisy's panel. Diamond Creations gave her a warning, right? And Diamond's pretty much said, hey, man, if I was you, I wouldn't burn people who have supported you, this and that. She gave her a good, a good talk. But the next day I spoke to her, and she's just like, Now, this is after DeeDee dies, and she's laughing. She's fucked up, drunk as fuck. And she says, I'm just fucking with these YouTubers. That's not grieving. That's not grieving to me. There's nothing about Summer. There's nothing about DeeDee. And that's what you're doing? Like, it's weird. And this was after the hoax of the gay stuff, right? It's just not normal process of grieving. Everybody grieves different, I guess. But there's something weird here. There's something weird here, and all I can tell you is there's a lot of lies. There's a lot of people not making adult decisions, not proper utilizing emergency response correctly. And it's made me think a lot, man, about all the other prior conversations I've had with Candus. It's made me think a lot. Unfortunately, I wanted Noelle to give y'all some input, but her mom called her. It's just made me really think about a lot of things. And what I have also saw throughout this whole thing is the finger being pointed at Don. Like, there's one time, like, this really happened. There's one time I know Don to be in church, right? I know him to come right back home. But the person saying he's the bad man is done a lot of lies, right? And living with her dead bestie's husband. Then on the phone, saying about what she and the new man have. I get in trouble. I told you she's going to try to create a wedge between me and Don. So you guys can go ahead and hang all that up, because I know it's coming. I know it's coming. And she's going to do it. She's going to do it. She's big mad about everything I've said this far, and it's only truth. It's only truth. So it should be easy for someone to say, Whiteboy's lying. Here's my call log. You see, there's 911 first. Should be simple. There's times there and whatnot. But I'm telling you the truth. It was ugly. It's weird. And I only believe Fred told Noelle what he told her when she was just talking, because yes, we all know each other, but there's a monetary thing between us, right? There's a monetary little, like, simple agreement that we had, right? And so he's kind of like obligated to call her back, right? It is, why does the guy not pick up Don's calls after I make a video? It's all weird, people. Let me take some comments. Not truthful. There's no investigation that can be done on this, I don't think. Oh, yeah, that was there. They're selling her stuff. What's up, Blame Katie? What's happening? Arrived 6 months after I was worried the Mercedes. There's huge red flags. No, there was no heart attack. This is fake news. This is fake news. He was not there. That was not Don. I said that at the beginning of the chat. What they were doing is Candus was in the chat, that Skeletor looking whore that just scammed everybody. She's only going to say my name. She was what was being done there is they were using a Don Wells screen name, and Candus is so obvious, right? She comes in and says something, then she hops out. Then this Don Wells avatar guy comes in to say, "Oh, Whiteboy better stop talking about my wife." People, I just was on the phone with him. See, unlike Candus, I'll show you my call log. And I just talked to him. He's supposed to be on this live. Some of the information I told you in this very live came from Don. I have no problem with Don. It's not Don that's living. People, come on. I mean, do I have to say anything more? This is lies. I don't know why they would use alts. I can't show you the whole call log, but there's that. I mean, it's just like desperation. So please don't you can believe that if you want, or when he comes on later, I'll just clear it all up. But I'm telling you, a lot of people caught that and said it. And I specifically, by the time I asked them, somebody else had debunked it. That's not true. But think about that comment on the screen. Why is the narrative have to be that? Why? Very weird. Somebody wants the narrative to be they're working things out. What I'm telling you is that's not true. Would y'all work it out? Knowing what you know, would you work it out? Would you be okay with this person gone over a month? Hell's not. And you don't know the conversations and the weird shit, rap calling. It's all weird. It's all weird. This has became like weird behavior, but it's the lies, man. It's the lies. For me, it's very important on the lies. The behavior, the lies, knowing certain things. And then once you learn certain things, and once you've been lied to, you can only think, what else have they lied about? And then when I start talking to other people who also know the truth. See, Candus hasn't thought this through. There's a lot of people who supported her, and people talk. And everybody has little tidbits of information. You start putting it together, right? You start putting it together, and you get a bigger piece of the puzzle, and it's all very strange. There's just a random death, no health issues. There's a previous gallbladder, but that's nothing, people. You replace it, whatever your hospital is, a couple days there, take the medicine, whatever, you're good to go. Out. You don't just up and randomly die after it. It's extremely, extremely strange. And then the lie about, so before she just up and said she's living with Fred and he has 2 houses, the lie was the birth certificate. I forgot about that. I'm going to come back home when we go back to Gatlinburg, right? Watch this. Watch this lie. So I'm going to come back home when the death certificate comes in, because then we can kill 2 birds with 1 rock, right? He's got to go to Gatlinburg already, and I can get dropped off. Well, wouldn't you know, there may or may not have already been a Tennessee trip. So what was that? So telling Don all this time, Gonna come back home, death certificate. Then the death certificate's taking longer and longer and longer, longer and longer and longer, longer and longer. Then a little birdie slips. And we learned that they go to Tennessee and then go back to Georgia. So either A, you just went to Tennessee for whatever reason and didn't do what you've been saying, or B, you got the death certificate and then went and did what you did and didn't go. So there's lies. There's still remaining lies out there. There's a lot of lies, people. And then after I'm like, dude, I don't know about this death certificate thing, bro. I'm like, what is this? A different country? They got to be able to get something. Yeah.
Everybody in chat is focusing on this gallbladder issue. The gallbladder was removed with a month, at least, if not longer, before DeeDee passed away. When she passed away, her autopsy results came back inconclusive. Therefore, if she was going septic, it would have shown up in an autopsy. If she had any type of anything that was the cause of death, it would have shown up and not been inconclusive, which is why they removed multiple tissues from different parts of her major body parts, organs, arteries, you name it. They took all kinds of samples and sent it out to the lab to be tested for everything, included reasons caused by another person. They are not looking at an autopsy with inconclusive results and not scratching their heads saying, well, this person just stopped. People don't just stop. You are never going to just fucking die without a reason. And an autopsy will always provide the proof of why you have passed away. There is no and, if, or but about it. I was a nurse for 13 fucking years, and I have a lot of friends in the medical field. Well, I'm not done yet.
Hold that thought.
You're not going to find an inconclusive result on an autopsy and then sit here and say it came from a fucking gallbladder surgery she had over a month prior to her passing.
Hold that thought.
Not even related to the reason
that
she was having issues the day she passed away.
Hold that thought. So I don't know where the confusion comes in. I don't know where the confusion comes in, right? The only reason I say anything about the gallbladder, okay, is to show you patterns. I hate when you tell a story, when you tell the truth and people just run in fucking left field, right? And it's just like, no, you can't do that. Bring back reality over here. So I'm showing patterns, right? Just like Noelle said, if she died any reason to do with gallbladder post-surgery, gallbladder ABC, anything that would be in the autopsy, okay? However, in a previous, she looked healthy to me. I'll put the picture back up. I'm going to put the picture back up because the only person that I didn't say the name is in chat now. I was just reading comments. Nana for Life is who was in that photo. But, hey, Nana, the prior hospital stay, okay, which was months ago, when Fred was visiting his real wife.
Selena is absolutely correct. Read Selena's text, her comment. Selena is right. That is why I was looking the other fucking day.
Okay, which one, Noelle?
The UK, we call it pending investigation. Fred will be given a second death certificate after toxicology is back, which is what is going on right now.
So, back when the gallbladder issues were months ago, not this time, but a different time, she was arguing with Don. She wanted DeeDee to come get her. Remember, I said, God bless the dead, was a mod of mine. DeeDee enabled her a little bit. Nana for Life's in chat. She may want to speak on it. I know they know each other. But as DeeDee is in the hospital, Candus says, come get me, come get me, come get me. Right? DeeDee is like, no, I'm, just got out of surgery and I'm here with Fred and I got to stay the night and then we'll go home tomorrow. Whatever the hell was said. And then Candus says, no. Will you tell Fred to come get me? The ball. It ended up happening. You know why I know that? Because DeeDee was very vocal about it to certain people. I don't blame her. How dare you demand? But that was months ago. Okay, moving along. Here's some comments. It is a long story. Yeah, I don't love that she's driving the car around either. Did Nana say anything? I didn't see you, Queen of Ossian. Thank you so much. I saw you, Dabs, and I saw you, West Virginia Butterfly. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Yes. Now, when DeeDee passed, they were in DeeDee's house. Okay. It was just them two. Candus didn't, again, if I know something's wrong, if you're a loved one of mine or a very good friend of me, and I know something is wrong with you, to the point where I have to call 911. Even if I don't know CPR, the dispatcher will explain it to me, will walk me through it. Right? But if you could not do CPR right and you could help, right? It's just about the compressions, really. But I would do it even if I was stressed out, I had anxiety, I was nervous. If the dispatcher was telling me, but my mind was at different other places, I would still try to perform some life-saving technique as the paramedics are coming.
We just had this talk
Nothing
the other
was
night,
done.
you and I. If I were to fucking fall out, you'd be running around like
That's
a
a
crazy
great idea.
person, but you would have to stop, think, and you would be trying to do CPR. It's not hard. You'd be doing something to try to help me while calling 911 at the same time. Like, we had this conversation. The problem is that I would be I'd be dead, so I wouldn't be, but I'm too scared and concerned for you because I don't want you to be that scared and worried about me. And it's hard to explain what I even mean by that. But I know that in your panic, you would be doing everything you could, even if it was fucking shaking me upside down by my feet.
Absolutely.
You'd be doing something.
Absolutely. Give me it's because we got that fight, not flight. All right, listen, come here. Stay over here for a second.
Oh.
Let the people hear your take a little bit. As I want people
I
to
might just go live on this my fucking self.
Well,
There's a whole lot, and it's I mean, like, to be honest, everything that I can tell you is coming straight from the people that are involved themselves, and I can tell it's even like in order. I can even have a group of ladies who have been involved from the day that they started telling people on with me.
I think that would be a good idea.
Talk about it, and we can have a fucking this is what happened and what we were told.
Yeah.
Live, if they want to do it, I'll talk with them later.
So that's actually a great idea. I might try to convince Noelle to do that because there are other people in this conversation. When I say I have the truth, there's a lot of truth. But what I don't want to do is get on here and tell y'all something. Usually I'm that person that shows receipts. Or I could just say, well, this came from so-and-so. And I don't know if they want, there's a lot to go into it. And there are people who do have valuable information on this, and the ladies should do it.
There's also the problem. Like, I'm the one having all the conversations and text messages, and I don't show my messages from between me and anybody for any reason. I don't care if you done stabbed me in the back and ran me over with a fucking train. Like, it's not my place to put your shit out there, and I'm not gonna. I just don't give a fuck. But I will and have no problem having a conversation with more than one person on my panel, and we can tell you guys all the story because it's all going to line up. There's a little bit of differences between all of our stories, depending on how the person told each of us, because we all have unique stories, but they're all genuinely, for the most part, the exact same story with or without one or two details. But I can tell you the facts are that everything, with the exception of, I will not sit there and say that she is sleeping with him because there was no proof to that, and she does have her own bedroom in all of DeeDee's houses. So I'm not, like, I won't sit there and say that part because I don't know if it's true or not. But I can tell you everything that has happened and been told to me from Fred or Candus or the other people that I've spoken to about DeeDee and the situation with her.
I was trying to start a poll, but I can't do it. How do I put a poll up here? Or let's put a 1 in chat if you would like to see Noelle do a tell all. What? You should feel pressured, and you should get on your channel and you should do it. It's an important topic, and the internet will help you. They have the full story. The internet's smart. The internet will put it together, and the internet. One thing I know about the internet, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't feel pressured, and it's not your place to fucking want me to feel pressured. I have a lot of shit I'm supposed to talk about on my channel, and I've not gotten to it yet.
So do it this weekend sometime.
Maybe I will. I have a life, and my life is busy, and a lot of my life is spent in pain and unable to move. So if I get to it, I get to it. Right now, like, I'm just talking shit in the background, but I'm not on camera.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any investigation. I think that
Yeah, it is.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. Not illegal, but an internal medical investigation.
Yeah, but
what do you think it is considered medical? Is it a medical investigation?
What's up, Chasing?
It's a medical investigation. That's why they are looking into further tissue samples to find out, because there's no reason that she stopped. You don't just stop. Even if I hold a pillow over your face until you stop breathing, it's going to show up in the autopsy.
Right.
There's no reason for any person to just stop. You don't just short circuit. You don't misfire.
Do they always
fucking shocks don't go out.
Do they always look further into it if it's inconclusive?
Yeah, because inconclusive is fishy. It's suspicious. Inconclusive says stop and keep fucking looking, because people don't just stop working. A body doesn't stop for no fucking reason. An inconclusive result means there's no reason.
That's exactly.
That means now you better fucking get your boots on and your
Do we know
elbow
why
gloves
Fred
on
didn't
and keep
want
digging and looking.
No. So here,
Because he
Chasing.
didn't want the YouTube bullshit drama surrounding his wife. He wanted her to be respected and loved, and he didn't want her being trashed and treated like a nobody on the internet.
So here's what I can tell you.
That's why he didn't want it on
When
live.
Noelle originally contacted him, remember, there's kind of an obligation there. That is what was told to Fred. Told that to Noelle. That I can vouch for and stamp on it. Problem is, the very next day, Candus puts it on the internet. It's just one of those, like, but that's what I was told. It's fishy, people. I didn't know all what Noelle just said about the inconclusive. I don't know much about autopsies, but evidently, if something comes back, y'all, you never know, man. I just think there's questions. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm not saying there's a lot of red flags, people. And it's just been weird with me, y'all. You have to understand there's a lot of lies. Some I can tell you, Some I will push my wife to do her own stream and get the other ladies to at least give their approval or jump on with. And once you start hearing all these lies, there's even more red flags. Okay, there's just too many. There's too many red flags. Okay, there's too many red flags. This is all weird, and it just is. And the lies make me think of just a lot of things, people. The lies make me feel like just a lot of different things, you know. And in my position here, there's just a lot going on, you know. I'm also kind of hearing what Candus is telling Don. I'm listening to a lot of the people who support her as they keep, you know, distancing themselves because she's done that. The behavior is very weird. The spitefulness, the vindictiveness, you know, it's just like I don't get it. I don't understand her thinking whatsoever. I don't think I ever will. And I don't like, you know, the disrespectfulness in the whole situation in itself. Look, Don and Candus can have their problems, people. It's none of the internet's business. Just as if I get into it with my wife, it's no one's business, right? But I want you guys to think I'm a weirdo. If I get into it with Noelle and I start, you know, porking her sister or something like that.
Motherfucker, you
okay?
catch these fucking
You think
hands
you
for
would
free.
you think that I would be a weirdo?
Talk to my sister, you want to fuck her? I'll whoop your ass
You
in
know?
front of your live. Fuck with me. Catch these.
It's
hands
just
for
not
free.
okay. It's not. It's not okay. This is a woman who, DeeDee, she's a beautiful custom. Summer Wells is missing. They're like professional decals. She's got a like not a bumper sticker, but like a nice professional decal on both sides of her SUV type thing. One says call 1-800-TBI. There's a picture of Summer. And then the other one says on the other side, it's like missing, right? And you know, it's strange. I missed Nana. I'm trying to I'm just trying to do this. Noelle's jumping in. I missed a lot of good comments. I am gonna try to get Noelle to do this live, guys, because I'm not blaming you for nothing. Did anyone contact law enforcement to report this as suspicious? See, that's what I was just trying to say. I don't think I don't know. I mean, they already know. I mean, I would think that if, because of an inconclusive thing, they're going to redo it. And depending on what comes back, will be depending on law enforcement's move. I would think.
What would be the reason for someone to contact, though?
I don't know.
And I'm only asking because don't we think that law enforcement and everybody knows the moment that Fred got home and called 911 and reported his wife's passing, the coroner's results are shared with law enforcement.
Right.
So why would we report a suspicious anything to the law?
Right.
Why would anybody even, I mean, like, I understand the question, but they are actively working on finding out the reasons behind DeeDee's passing. So why would anybody want to call and report
Because
hey, my friend passed away and there's no reason? I think it's weird. We already know.
Because of them already being indirectly involved.
They have no choice. You call 911 because of anything. Who shows up? Fire department,
yeah.
police, ambulance.
I don't think that there's a real, I'm not saying it's wrong or not, but here's the thing, right? They're already indirectly involved. You got another autopsy. You have all this stuff going on medically wise. And if they see something's fishy, then they're going to give it over to them. But what is somebody going to say? Like, I could, what am I going to try to explain this whole live on a phone call? I'll go in a minute. It would be too much. They call law enforcement. They want concrete stuff. They're not like in our land where, you know, and that's why
it's everybody thinks of calling the fucking law more than they need to. I think anymore. How many fucking times people call the police on people? They should just not.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like this to be a dick to the person who mentioned that, because like I get it, but
So
it's something that's being actively looked at
So
right now.
Carmel G, that was a long explanation to your question, but yes, I was answering you, but I've seen a lot of people say that. So that's why I said that. I wasn't trying to single you out. Her husband himself should push for investigation. I think it is. Lurking Brave, Nana for Life, while you're in here. So I showed this picture. You have this. I'm sure you have this, but I'll put this on the screen one more. It's our people. So, right, Chillbilly, Miss Chewy, DeeDee. I don't know who is next to DeeDee. Nana for Life, Jenkies, Miss Robin, Candus, Wifey, me. Nana for Life. Who is to the right of you? Who's in between you and DeeDee? I just forgot. What did she say? Nana for Life says, Jennifer. Thank you so much. That's absolutely who that is. So, you remember this? I know that you know her. So, you guys, Nana for Life, who's in the middle of this picture, for many years has paid with her own money, or a lot of it, Summer's Day, all the events and stuff. You know, she should get a lot of respect for that. It's not cheap. You have the same pictures. Okay. Yeah. She doesn't want anything to be clarified or cleared up. Some things she did with Summer. It just doesn't make sense. They're investigating this. A person.
And that's literally the last time I'm going to address
A person
that,
passed
because
away.
I'm gonna get mad.
9 was called. They took Dee to the morgue.
There's two
and
parts to that.
they took reports from Candace and Fred. Yeah, we can only wait for the reports.
It is an active investigation. And
Yeah.
trust and believe, if there is something that comes back as foul play on those samples, there will be a further police investigation. This right now is, I don't know why anybody is having a hard time comprehending it, an investigation.
What's up, Miss Gail? Yeah.
Right now, it's a medical investigation, but the police are involved because they had to be there to take a police report when Dee passed.
Is there any?
Yeah.
Selena, I don't know. All I know